have you ever in your life had a defining moment? A moment where the coin could have flipped both ways and it would have had vastly different outcomes. Well, I think round four of my state tournament was that exact moment where if I had lost this game, I'm not going to tell you if I won or drew, but I knew if I had lost this game, I would not have won the tournament. So, not because I couldn't have recovered, but just because this was the game that I needed to mentally hold to go into day two with 3 rounds left with a really good attitude. And, the first thing is that obviously it's a pretty big jump in difficulty from like, some 1300s, 1100s to a 1980. Like, okay, now we're now we're starting to get to the caliber of players where I'm gonna be able to get some rating. So he kind of immediately threw me off by playing F4. It's called the Bird, and frankly, I don't know much against it. Like, I mean, I used to know some old theory with D5, but I was like, okay, the Bird, it weakens the king side squares. Let's just play principle and see what happens. So, what's the worst could happen? So I go knight f6. He goes knight f3, and now I go g6. And I'm like, okay, I really don't know if he's going to go for this system, where pretty much he goes to fianchetto, pretty solid structure, and can sometimes go for an attack. It's usually the bird is pretty aggressive if handled correctly, which he definitely knew how to do. So he goes e3. I go here, and he goes d4, pretty much signaling, okay, he's going to make this thing called the stonewall structure. Now, a good thing in chess as you get like better and better is to learn the pawn structures they'll commonly be facing. And this is one that's generally played with the black pieces, but pretty much it's the same moves. F4, E3 or E6, D4, C6, and you form this wall to blunt my bishop. So it blunts my bishop, and then but the problem is that this bishop is trapped behind the wall pawn. So often it does this little maneuver just to trade for my knight. So I knew some of these ideas. So I went d5, bishop d3, castles. He finishes the structure, and I developed my bishop g4. I thought all of this was pretty reasonable. So he castled, and here I mean I'm like completely out of book here. Um, I mean I've been out of book for like the whole game. I've just been playing what I thought was pretty reasonable. Managed to get a good position though, and I'm like, okay, his bishop. I know exactly what his plan is, but I don't see how I'm exactly going to get played. Like I know it can be on the queen side. Usually it revolves around these two squares. So maybe some plan of like c6 to then go b5 was pretty reasonable. But I was kind of like, you know what? I don't have to win this game. If I draw this game, I get good rating, and I get to rest. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna go knight e4. Pretty unambitious move, but now he can just develop, and I'm just gonna trade. Just gonna trade everything. Close the position, make a draw. So he goes here, and I think I probably should have taken this in hindsight, and then tried to play for more. But again, I was kind of in the draw mindset, so I took his knight. He took back, and I have one chance to take the bishop. Or I thought, you know what, if I go back, I can create this kind of clamp, and I can be more solid. But in reality, I don't know why I wouldn't just take here to get the bishop, and then maybe like immediately um, attempt to break open the board. But this endgame just doesn't feel very nice. Like he's got a really powerful center, and I would have preferred to keep a knight controlling these squares. It's not very accurate, but so he finishes his plan. I finish my plan, and he develops his bishop. Remember that idea I was talking about? Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Um, so I develop my knight. He goes here, and now I offer a bishop trade. Point of me offering the trade is that my bishop is really blunted by the fact that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his 8 pawns, because we haven't traded any pawns, are on my bishop's color. Meaning I can't really do much here, but my knights are quite good. So So I figured trade off the bad piece. He goes here, and I'm like, okay, I can take the queen, or I can just be solid. So I choose to be solid. We get takes, takes, and now I thought, okay, I have really, really good control over here. He might try and build something up on the king side, but as long as I can, lock this side of the board, on again, we're playing against this bishop by putting our pawns on the bishop's color to solve positional chess. If I can lock the queen side and then hold the king side, I got my draw. So he goes king h1, clear intentions going here, and I find this move knight h5, which pretty much I am preventing him from playing e4 because I can take here. That was my goal: develop, uh, prevent the queen from going here, and stop this plan because I thought he was going to push e4 at some point, but he never did, which kind of confused me. So we went rook g1. I move my king out of the way, and he goes queen f2. The computer still evaluates this as a draw, and I thought it was about the same because we were playing pretty quick at this point. And I figured, like, I mean, there isn't much here. So I play this move knight f7, and my goal with knight f7 is to, I mean, bring another knight to the queen side, but probably go here, or just improve my knight. I mean, I could have gone here and here, but I kind of liked how I could maybe swing over. I can control some entry squares that the rook can't go here. It all sounds pretty good. So he goes rook g2, clear intentions. Um, I think here b5 is pretty reasonable. Or wait, no, not yet. a5. a5 first, just so that he can, just that I can lock this queen side more. And if, let's say, he continued it, then I can probably just push and gain more space and kind of restrict, and then maybe I'll boom, 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 just lock the board. But I decided on this move c6. So the computer says it's a bit inaccurate. I mean, still a draw here. But I was like, okay. I mean, it's kind of funny, but his light squared bishop is facing 7 out of 8 pawns in the light square. Like, we're just playing against it. So he brings the other rook over. I slide my rook over, and he brings the knight. Now the knight is looking to infiltrate, and so I played what I thought was quite reasonable, which is b6. It turns out this move is actually bad. So because of the fact that it weakens here, so maybe it would have been better to go a5. And then if knight here, I probably have like queen here, and then I push. Or maybe here. Yeah, this seems more reasonable because I keep control of these squares. He doesn't really have much. Then we go b6, kick the knight out. Okay, that was the better idea, but I just didn't really want to allow the knight to come in. So I play b6. He goes bishop a6. Really, really smart. Kind of preventing this movement, looking to infiltrate. So I move my king because he's trying to get behind the pawns that are countering the bishop. I can't click. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I can't fucking click. So he goes c4. He is trying to break open the position. So I go, okay, I am just gonna develop my queen. I'm gonna cover the ranks, and I'm gonna sit. And then he pushed, and I'm like, he's locking the board. This is good. I go here, he goes here, and I thought there was nothing, but then the hell kind of began. So I think that probably it would have. Oh wait. Probably here it would have been better to go. Probably just like make a waiting move. Maybe because I don't think takes works. So maybe like rook g7 or something. Just kind of sit, and then he doesn't want to do this because this is just better for me. But I pushed, and now I was like, all right, you want to get into my position? Show me how. So he shows me. He goes knight a5, and I'm like, okay, he's got some ideas to maybe push here, and here is a super instructive moment. This is probably the critical move that I believe could have lost me the game. I did not lose, but miscalculating here lost me the game. So, well, or could have. So here is his threat. He is threatening this pawn. Okay? We have a few ways to do it. Here's what I thought. I thought I go queen c7, the knight's attacked. If he solidifies it, then I get a free move. And I get that the knight's pretty good, but as long as I keep my queen and rook here, I'm fine. And like I'm pressuring the knight, and here I was even thinking a bit like, oh, like he might have to move, and then this bishop might be somewhat trapped. But you got to remember in chess, always when you are calculating, that when you make a move, whatever you did stops doing something else. So the problem with queen c7 is that the engine doesn't realize how dangerous this is that I take my eyes off of this h4 square. Now, why is that important? Well, here I had one chance to remedy it by going back, but I thought I have a better idea. I thought I could go queen d7 to keep this pawn guarded and to keep everything solid. What I missed was that he has a big threat, which is queen h4 and then taking. At least at some points, or queen h4 and infiltrating, and he brings his final hard-hitting piece so that I have 19 points of material barreling down to my king, and 14 of mine are over here dilly-dallying, was that I probably needed to just dip. Rook g7, king. Maybe, I don't know, let's do an example move, king. Maybe I dip. I mean, this isn't probably correct, but it might be a solid chance. Here, I can probably just go here now. Yeah, and then I hold everything together. Because now his threat of taking here does not work because the rook's guarded. And now I can go knight d8. This rook g7 move wasn't my move, by the way. The engine came up with this, so I'm not going to take credit for that idea, but that was apparently the only drawing idea. So I went queen d7, and then he goes queen h4. And here I'm like, okay, I see the danger. And I found the idea a move late. And here I did something really ballsy. And that just lost me the game. Like this just straight up loses. Rook g7. And for reasons I can't explain, he didn't take my knight. Yes, that's brilliant. Takes, and then rook takes. As I was looking at this position, I was thinking to myself, oh, you know, maybe this isn't that bad for me. Maybe, you know, I'm up material. I can maybe hold everything together. I can't. My queen and rook always have to tie down here. If my rook at any point moves, it's mate. This is just terrible. But he went a3. And from here, I was like, whew, okay. We're going to move our rook back. We're going to decline. Probably should have put my rook here. So that then if he goes here, I have knight d8 to meet it. But like, I was like, shit. Okay, we're going to move. And then he sacks his bishop. I'm going to give this move I'm going to say this is questionable. I mean, the idea is pretty simple. If I take at any point, he takes my knight. And there's pressure. I mean, obviously if I take the queen, it's mate. And then, I mean, he can probably honestly just like take here first and then go back and I can never get rid of him. And then if I take. So I can't take here. And so here I'm like, okay. Well, now we got to calculate because if I go knight d8, this allows queen takes, but then I have knight takes. And then he has rook takes. And then I might be able to go here, and I'm drawing. To see the sequence, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, knight d8, I find it only good move. Takes, takes. He takes here. I can probably take, but I don't know the move order. Probably take. Rook comes in. Now I take the knight, and then I probably go here. Seems good for me. And so that's why he then went bishop c8. And I was like, okay, sacking the bishop again. It is the same, I mean, same thing. But I probably should have gone for it in this version because at least maybe I can like, shit, like go here. No. Probably just transpose variations. Back into knight b7, as we were talking about. But I moved because I still don't want to take the bishop, and then he sacks it again. Brother really wanted to get rid of this bishop for nothing. Like, I mean, look at this. You got a sack, he sacks it again, and then he sacks again. And it's like, okay, just go. It's queen takes. Queen takes. Now we sort of transpose. We get the variation. Takes. And here I move too fast, and instead of calculating that this was better, I thought, wait a minute, I can get a knight here, and then my king will be closer into the game. Ah, I'm a genius. Take, and then he took. You may wonder what's the difference. Well, he doesn't have to take my rook. It's not forced. So actually, his king is getting out fast, but so is mine. And I'm like, okay, we got the draw. All I need to do is make sure he can't push here, can't get in on this side, and can't get in with the queen. Seems easy enough. Brings the king in. I just kind of wait. He checks me. I just kind of wait. He moves. I slowly inch. Pretty much, I just want to stop the king from coming in. He offers queen trade. I bring my king closer, and now, we get completely. I just had to calculate that every single variation was drawn. That was the struggle here. And then no matter what he does, we just make a draw. Although here it's winning. But anyways, so it's all just about calculating. That was this game. So I move my king over. He blocks. I move my king up. Again, I'm waiting. He pushes pawn. Now I move my queen again. I do not want to take here because this allows him to get pawns. This is pretty instructive, but you aren't forced. You aren't forced to take. So I just scoot. He finally takes. Go here and here, and then we agreed to a draw. Hell of a game. And this was my turning point where I'm sitting there and I'm like, I have what it takes. If I can survive that with the black pieces, then I have what it takes to win this. And besides, it was my last match of the day. I was the most tired. So I went into day 2 and I'm like, we're gonna win out. We're gonna freaking cook. And guess you'll have to find out.